Weartesters.
What is up, everybody? Pen with Josh Brain here, aka Penweezy from Weartesters.com, aka Spider Penweezy from Instagram. Yeah, I'm back with a shoe review. This time it's gonna be on the Nike Air Zoom Hyper Attack. You guys can see that. Hopefully it focuses. Yup. And pretty much it's this shoe. It's been highly requested. Everybody's been asking me how these shoes have been playing. I'm pretty sure that the US national team for volleyball played in these in the Olympics. A bunch of them played in it, like Micah Christensen, Ray Purdy, one of the middles played in it. I don't know all the players' names. But yeah, they played in it. Lots of people have been asking me about it. I played in it. My team played in it. So yeah, we're just gonna get into the review. Hope you enjoy. Also, for me personally, when I first saw this shoe, I thought this was the Kobe 6. But it really isn't. It's pretty much a shoe that's an updated version of the Kobe 6, because I actually have the Kobe 6 in hand. You guys can see that. Pretty much identical, just with other updates and changes on this shoe. But if you've already played in this shoe, then this shoe is gonna play exactly the same. If not, there's gonna be some upgrades. But yeah, if you play in this shoe, you already know how this shoe goes. But if you don't know how that shoe plays, then this shoe review will be for you. Yeah, let's get into it. Starting off with traction, we got full length herringbone, as you guys can see that. Full length herringbone. As opposed to storytelling in the Kobe 6. You guys see that? Right out the box, this was freaking amazing. Didn't have any break-in issues. Stuck to the floor. I wiped every now and then, but I was stuck to the floor. All the movements I wanted to make, I could make in this shoe. There was no like lag time when planting. It was straight up just stop on the dime type of traction, and it made the shoe that much better. I remember when I played in the Kobe 6, I first had to break it in, and it was on like a really clean court, and I was like slightly sliding, and then once I broke in like the first layer of, you know, rubber, then I started getting good traction. Whereas this, it was good out the box. So if you're looking for great traction, this is a really good option. Moving on to cushioning, we have a full Phylon midsole featuring Zoom Air in the heel, which is pretty much this whole area right here, and then a Met Bag Zoom unit right in this area, which is pretty much identical to the Nike Zoom Kobe 6. Now, in my opinion, you can feel the Zoom units, especially this one right here, and when planting on the heel to go, you know, jump, I felt the heel Zoom unit. They're very nice feeling. They're pretty responsive, and it gives a little bit of pop. The Phylon midsole breaks in pretty well, and it's not the firm type, it's one of the softer types. And if you played in the earlier Kobe models, like the Kobe 5, 4, 6, you'll remember that those were pretty soft. Didn't really have any issues with this in terms of cushioning. In my opinion, you know, hitters, outside hitters, right side hitters, even middle blockers, you might enjoy this because it's pretty responsive when jumping and landing, and it gives a good amount of court feel, so you're not just on a substantial amount of foam. The foam compresses a good amount, and you feel the zoom, and you're able to make the movements you want without not being able to feel the floor. And I really did enjoy that in this shoe. I felt that in the Nike Zoom Kobe 6, and it's very present in this shoe as well. Now, if you're looking for a shoe that has a good amount of cushioning, a good amount of response, a little bit of springiness and poppiness, and a good amount of court feel with the cushioning, then the Nike Air Zoom Hyper Attack is a shoe for you. I think that any player, whether you be a middle blocker, setter, outside hitter, libero, they'll be good in this shoe. Now, moving on to materials, one of the main differences that the Nike Air Zoom Hyper Attack has in the Kobe 6 is the removal of the scales. On the Nike Zoom Kobe 6, we had like polyurethane scales added to the top of the shoe, just to help provide extra protection. The Nike Zoom Kobe 5 prior to this shoe didn't have these scales, and it tended to rip. Back in 2010, they were messing around with like skin wire and lighter materials, but the trade-off was that it would rip like that in this area. And the way that they countered that was adding scales, just to help protect the shoe. So if you stepped on it or you just wore it out too much, it wouldn't rip like that. And as you guys can see, it has the OG flywire, like back in the day. So moving on to the upper of the Nike Air Zoom Hyper Attack, as you guys can see, that it doesn't have the scales. but it features that OG fly wire as well as a lot of perforations for ventilation. Also features a toe drag area because in volleyball you tend to drag your toes. So this area right here is made of a fuse, a light fuse, just to help with that extra durability. Also, there's a little bit of like a nicer tumbled type of leather in the back. And this upper is like made of I think a synthetic leather. It's not real leather for sure, but it's pretty nice. It breaks in pretty well with your foot, so once you wear it, obviously you're gonna have some break-in time, but after it's broken in, it's pretty much one-to-one to your foot. I think that today's materials are a little bit more substantial. They're built to last and be worn in and worn out, so you're pretty much good to go with this shoe's upper. There's really no issues. As you guys can see, I wore it out pretty well. It's lasted pretty long, so the only thing is it's slightly dirty. But yeah, I enjoyed it. The only issue that I really had was this area right here. As you guys can see, it's just dead space. What they could have done was just added like a couple like indentations or notches, or moved this area and added like a flex area, so when you flex it didn't really bulge up like that, as you guys can see that. But other than that, the upper was pretty good. Now moving on to fit. These fit true to size. If you have like a wide foot, you're probably safe to go up half a size. As you guys see, this fit's kind of narrow. And they fit very similar to the Nike Zoom Kobe 6, if not identical. Now one cool thing that the Hyper Attack also shares with the Kobe 6 is the insole. Now the Kobe 6 insoles were made of this weird like styrofoam, and it says I want a shoe that molds to my foot. See that? And pretty much once you applied heat and wore it down, it would break in and pretty much be like a custom fit orthotic or insole for your shoe. The Nike Hyper Attack features the same type of insole, as you guys can see, like I think 5-6 years later. And as you guys can see, this is where my big the ball of my foot is. It's where my toes are. It's where my heel is. And yeah, it's a pretty cool feature. I enjoyed it, although this isn't like the most cushioned insert or insole. I enjoyed it, and it allowed me to feel the Zoom a little bit more. So yeah. Now moving on to lockdown, the Nike Air Zoom Hyper Attack had pretty good lockdown. It has the same lacing system that the Nike Zoom Kobe 6 had, except it added one more eyelet, as you guys can see. So that one goes up to there. This one has one more past that. And I think that helped add a little bit more lockdown and support in that area. The Nike Zoom Kobe 6, I had a little bit of heel slip in each shoe, and I did the runner's knot, and that helped aid that problem. This, I didn't really have to do that. Put in the extra eyelet and you're good to go. And the laces are fairly long, so you have a good amount of lace space, and you could just tie them down as tight as possible and just get to playing. In terms of heel counter, we have a modified heel counter. I'll show you the Kobe 6. You guys can see that. The Kobe 6's heel counter rides a little bit higher. There's removed TPU in that area, whereas this one kind of features like a Kobe 5, Kobe 4S type of heel counter. And it did its job, to be honest. I didn't really have any issues with that area. The molding in the heel is pretty much identical to the Kobe 6. It's just the extra eyelet helped provide more lockdown and support. Now other areas that are kind of overlooked in support are the outrigger. So we have an outrigger that's pretty much the same as the Kobe 6, and the carbon fiber midfoot shank, just to add more of that arch support and rigidity, as well as a little bit more spring back. And yeah, that's pretty much the support, and it was solid. Now overall, I was really happy on how this shoe turned out. Updated herringbone traction, a slightly different heel counter, an added eyelet, and different colorways of this shoe. It is essentially the Nike Zoom Kobe 6 in volleyball form, and it's amazing to me how Nike changed a signature model into a volleyball model, and I love it. Now me personally, in 2016, I was gonna break this shoe, and this shoe right here is DS. I got this shoe when I was 19 in 2011, and this shoe to me was like the GOAT. This was the best shoe I've ever played in. It was, traction was great, lockdown was great for me. The sole was awesome. It felt lightweight. I felt like I could do everything that I wanted in the shoe. I even started dunking in this shoe. So this shoe means a lot to me. But now in 2016, now that this shoe came out, I was so hyped that, you know, a shoe was pretty much thrown back and then remade into a volleyball shoe, and I was just so excited. Now, if you're just looking for a good volleyball shoe, in my opinion, not just for Nike, but just in general, traction's great, court feels great, all your lateral movement, you're covered. You're definitely not gonna roll your ankle in this unless you step on somebody. They're low cut, but they provide all the basics that you need in a volleyball shoe. Now, the only downside I could find in this shoe is that the heel containment could be a slight of an issue, but for the most part, this shoe is really, really solid. Now, for those who are interested in buying this shoe for ball, you can ball in this. There's no doubt you can play basketball in this. The materials, like I said, are gonna be able to hold up all the wear and tear of basketball just without the scales, and it's made of a thicker material, whereas the Kobe 6 had like a thinner material. The upper is gonna last you pretty well. Traction's good. Same exact setup for cushioning, like I said, in the Kobe 6. So basketball needs, those who want to wear the Kobe 6 but don't want to pay that Kobe 6 retail price, or, you know, fade to black, all those models, you can ball in this. And yeah, that's pretty much my review of the Nike Air Zoom Hyper Attack. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I know there's been a hiatus of reviews. There's hella requests. I know people want me to review this shoe, but we'll find out in the next couple weeks. Going through a little setback, so we'll find out on what I think about this. I'll give you a hint. Lockdown for me personally is not all that great, but that's for another video. Also, shout out to Humphrey for, you know, sending these my way from Toronto. Shout out to you. Also, speaking of Toronto, my boy Eddie from D's Wear. This one says, home is Nyman. Sent me some t-shirts. D's Wear is a volleyball company that, you know, they make volleyball apparel. So this one says, nice pancakes. I got another one that says, Mad Hops. I like this one a lot. So if you're interested in some pretty good quality volleyball t-shirts with pretty cool graphics, check the link below. You can also use my code that is there. So yeah, if you're interested, check out that website. Shout out to you, Eddie, for hooking it up. Lastly, shout out to the Weartesters team at weartesters.com, on the Instagram page at Weartesters, and also on the Snapchat page. Pretty much your #1 spot to check out sneaker news, sneaker release news, shoes you don't even think about, even sneaker reviews that come out pretty often on all the news, shoes that come out, even release info, you know, on shoes you don't even know about. They have that covered. They pretty much eat, sleep, breathe sneakers, and they do it for everybody else that doesn't understand it, that doesn't have the information. They're giving you guys the information so that you're well informed and knowledgeable about the shoes. So shout out to you guys. They've been putting in work. If you have any questions, make sure you head there and ask questions. You're welcome to ask questions here, but go ask there because they're gonna give you a response. So yeah, shout out to the Weartesters team. And that's pretty much it. I'm Penwell Josh Barina, aka Pen Weezy from Weartesters.com, aka Spider Pen Weezy from Instagram. Check out my Instagram. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Make sure to leave comments, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Hit the like button, thumb up all day. Help me out. It really does help me out. But yeah, hit that button, and then if you subscribe, make sure to hit the notifications, because lots of people subscribe, but if you don't hit the notifications, you're not gonna get the videos that I upload. And I've been, you know, trying to upload more often. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully we'll get another review coming soon. More volleyball videos coming soon. I've had like a minor setback in terms of my body. I've kind of hurt myself. But yeah, I'll be back soon. Yeah. That's it. Bye. Bye.